Hello. So today we are going to have the first part of lesson 2. So just so you know, the lessons, it's going to be one lesson for a week, and each week, each lesson will have 4 parts. So this is Africa, Ancient Egypt, and Zoology, lesson 2, part 1. And today, our first topic is going to be about culture. Culture is the beliefs, customs, arts, ways of life of a specific society, group, place, or time. So I'm going to go through this just a little bit to make sure that you understand all of the words. So the beliefs, customs, arts, and ways of life, we're going to talk about those here, of a specific, not just any group, but an exact specific group, society, which just means a group of people, group, place, or time. To go back to society, it means a group of people that are organized together. So a community is a society. And you could have a smaller society like your community, or maybe possibly bigger too. So now I'm going to go over here to some things that we've talked about before. The fundamental needs of humans: food, water, shelter, and clothing. And I realize that we've talked about this before, and that there was a lot of discussion about money being one of those fundamental needs of humans. And the reality is, in our current society, we do need money because most people need money because most people do not have the ability to make each one of these things: food, shelter, water, shelter, and clothing, all by themselves. So they need money to make that happen. So these are all parts of your daily life: what you eat, how you get your water, what your house looks like, and your clothing looks like, are the specific ways of a daily life of a specific culture. Then there's some more daily life things that I want to talk about. One is language. Every culture has their own or a specific language that they use. They have tools and inventions. I should have wrote inventions here, but I didn't. Tools and inventions. They have ways they try to stay safe. And then the other parts of daily life here are also education, healthcare, and sanitation. Now, these are things that we've talked about a little bit less, although we have explored a lot of different language from different cultures. And maybe a little bit of tools or inventions. The next part that's touching daily life is art, because art is often something that's done on a very regular basis. There's a lot of different parts of art. There's sculpture, music, dance, painting, drawing, batik, textile art. There's so many ways of making art. And when we talk more about art, we're also going to include in that category all of the kinds of entertainment that a culture might have into this art category. Now, the other parts a culture has that are not necessarily part of daily life but might be are beliefs. Every culture, every person has beliefs. Something they believe is the right way to do anything. Their values, things that they think are the most important. Some examples of values are respecting elders would be a kind of a value, or the belief that your family is the most important thing, or believing that honesty is something that should be valued. One kind of belief there can be is religion. Some people's beliefs are put together in what's called a religion, which is an organized group of people that have the same beliefs. They're often centered around some very specific teachings. And if you look around cultures in the world, very often communities will all have the same religion. And that's true in some places. Some of the places that we've talked about have the same religion or beliefs. Other communities, you can find different beliefs in the same community and different religions in the same community. And that's the case with our community. Another part of culture is what things are important to you. What kinds of behaviors do you think are the right way to do it? When you say hello to someone and you are an American, you might shake their hands, or in our community, you might hug them. In some other cultures, it's the custom or the behavior to grab both of their hands when you say hello. Or in Japan, it's to bow. Or in Italy, it's to kiss them on their cheek. There's also laws and organization of many different things. Organization of people, organizations of a family, and what makes a family. These are all part of culture. And then another part is also the customs, symbols, and traditions. Traditions might be special holidays or celebrations like solstice or Easter. Those are both a tradition. Symbols are often a physical drawing or maybe even an item. And all of those things are specific to a certain culture. And then the last thing every culture has is the environment that they live in. This is something that really captures everything in this culture. So we've learned a lot about a lot of different cultures, but I wanted to talk about just what does that all mean? Because we often, when we are talking about cultures, when we have talked about cultures, we're often just focusing on these things that are really easy to see physically, like food and water, shelter, clothing, language, tools and inventions, and art. And we talk a little bit less about these things. Beliefs, what's important, and customs. And I'm going to try talking a little bit more about these during this study. We've also talked a lot about environment and the cultures that we've studied and what the environment of that culture is. Something that you may recognize and may be familiar with are some cards that we have used. These are some Montessori cards that we've used. And we're going to use these more. The truth is I'm making new ones and they're just not done yet. But these are some culture cards for the FE people. And I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the different ones and see if we can recognize what part of culture these come from. And when we flip these over, we can see it shows us a visual symbol of what part of culture it is. So this visual symbol is pants, and they've used this symbol for clothing. And that's one of the fundamental needs of humans. Here, this leaf hut, we might have even built these leaf huts maybe last year, the beginning of the year of first grade. We studied different kinds of shelters from the world. With Play-Doh, Wesley says. Here's a dugout canoe. And honestly, I did some research on this. And I'm not sure that the FA people actually use dugout canoes, but other cultures and societies nearby them do. But the society, the specific culture of the FA people, I don't believe they do. But this is the symbol that they use for transportation. And I don't have transportation on our list, but I do have tools and inventions. Remember, it's invisible right there. And this would definitely fit in there. Here, this card says hunting. Here on the back, food. All right, so food is one of the fundamental needs of humans. This says the FA Pygmies. And this is the name of this culture. Drumming is definitely something the FA do. And they've used this symbol for art. And they may try and talk about music more than anything else because this is a note, which is a symbol used in music. And then this tells us the tropical forests of Africa. This is the environment that the FA people live in. So these are some cards that we're going to look at and have to use. And we're even going to make some of these cards about ourselves. So while you're thinking about all of these things, you can also think about, well, what does my culture do? What do I do in my family? And that's something we'll be talking about more soon. The next thing I want to talk to you about is I want to introduce you to Africa. Now, that's kind of funny because we have talked about Africa before. So maybe the right thing to say would be more that I'm going to remind you about Africa. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in this book to page 60. This is one of my favorite atlases, and I have just a really beautiful big map here. I hope you guys can see it all. I'm pretty sure you can. Well, not quite. There's a tiny bit here missing in South Africa, but I think this will work for now. In this, so we all know about the continent of Africa. We've sang about it. You might remember studying the Maasai people when we were in preschool. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about continents, which this is, and countries, which are each one of these. And you might remember some of these. This is Tanzania and Kenya and Uganda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. These are some places that we've talked about. Over here is also the Republic of the Congo. So I'm going to go ahead and just switch here real quick to North America. Now this is our continent where we live. And you can see here that we have several countries in North America, but not nearly as many as Africa. We can try counting them. We have Panama, 1, Costa Rica, 2, Nicaragua, 3, Honduras, 4, El Salvador, 5, Guatemala, 6, Belize, 7, Mexico, 8, United States of America, 9, Canada, 10. Then also Cuba, 11, Haiti, 12, Dominican Republic, 13, Puerto Rico, 14. And I'm not sure how exactly we would count these, if these are each individual countries. Some of them are parts of other countries. I see here Puerto Rico. Yes.
Hi.
Puerto Rico is connected with the United States of America. So this would be even a lot more, but they're very tiny. And here is us. The United States of America is our country, and we live in North America. Now, the United States of America is our country. Let's see, I'm going to go like this. So if we go like this, so here's the world, here's North America, our continent. Here's the United States of America, our country. And here's Washington, our state. And then here we can even see, here's Jefferson County, and here's our town, Port Townsend, or Port Hadlock, or Chimacum, which is all kind of together for us in a lot of ways. Okay, so back to Africa. Here's the continent. They have over 50 countries in the continent.
Come on, let's count them.
Count them?
Yes.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think I can do it.
On.
I just am not quite sure I can do that right now. So, I brought this book that says Africa is not a country, which is kind of funny because of course it's not a country because we already know it's a continent. But these are the countries, and the purpose of this book is to tell people and to tell kids that Africa is filled with many different cultures, many different societies, and many, many different countries. These are all the flags. This you might recognize from studying it before, but this is a savanna. These are acacia trees. This is one part of Africa. And here's another map. And I'm just going to go ahead and read this for you just a little bit. Africa is not a country. It is a vast continent made of 53 nations. If you took the land of the United States and added it to the lands of China, Japan, and Europe, Africa would still be bigger. From the tiny island nations of Comoros, Seychelles, and Sao Tome and Principe, to its largest country, Sudan, Africa is the only continent with land in all 4 hemispheres. I'm just going to pause here to say I'm going to try my best, but I may mess up the pronunciations of some of these words. Okay, anyways, so I'm just going to repeat that. You're interrupting me. What do you think, we're in school? Please don't interrupt. I'm reading.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay. Unlike any other continent, it is divided into 2 almost equal lengths by the equator, and it is nearly as wide as it is long. Wow. So it's almost a square. And it's the only continent with land in all 4 hemispheres. I'm just going to repeat that. And here's where the equator is that I was just talking about. Here's the equator, and it goes through Kenya, and it also goes through the Democratic Republic of Congo. And right near here is where the FA people live. If you drew a picture of Africa's landscape on a large pie and cut it into 10 equal pieces, only one piece would contain all of the rainforests. 4 pieces would represent the deserts, 4 would be the grasslands, farmlands, and trees. The final piece would hold all of the mountains and cities of this beautiful, vibrant continent, where several 100 million children wake up every morning. In this book, it's going to go through, and we're going to meet some different families and different kids from different places in Africa. And I'm just going to read 1 or 2 of them for you right now. The sun is just rising as Aram and Ephraim get up to prepare for school. They take showers, change into school uniforms, and comb their hair while listening to children's programs on the radio. After a breakfast of sweet hot tea and bread with butter and marmalade, they put on their book bags. Their parents gently place their hands on their heads and say, "May God be with you the whole day." The boys kiss their parents' hands and respond, "Yakanele," which means thank you in Tigrinya, a widely spoken language in Eritrea. Before they walk out of the door with their father, who is going to his office in downtown Asmara, the boys are reminded by their mother to always respect their teacher and their elders. Eritrea? Eritrea. Boy, there it is. Just north of Ethiopia. I have never even heard of that country. And look, Asmara, right here. Asmara is the city that their dad goes to work at. Wow, look at that again. Right there. It's early morning in Palepo, a village in Cameroon. Before breakfast, Manto spends an hour selling fresh milk from the gourd she carries on her head. Tipi washes the dishes, while Nicolo and Fola collect firewood and take several trips to the well. Their chores will be complete when there is enough water and firewood for the day. After a breakfast of pap, a cereal made from corn, the children will walk to school with their friends. They have a lot of work to do before they go to school. These children in this family get up, take a shower, get dressed, put on their uniforms, and then go to school. These children have already collected all of the wood and water for the day, did some selling of goods to take care of their family, and wash the dishes before school. So I am going to stop there. This is a book that everyone will have to read, and there's many children, and each one of these pages is a child in a different community. So, talking about culture, I wanted to just show you one of the stories you're going to read today. I have a copy of, and I have a video for you to watch. This book is called Westlandia, and when you finish reading this story, I'd like you to think about, why did I choose this book for learning about cultures? And let's see, the last thing I wanted to show you about today is some of the things that you're going to be working on today also, and the list is going to be right in your Google class like usual. But this is your map of Africa that we're going to be working on today. Today I wrote the name Map of Africa, and I did it right here too. And I started coloring the different biomes, the different places. We have tropical forest here and mountains that I just got started. This is the area where the FA people live. So there you have it. Well, thanks for watching the video. Oh, one more thing. And also in your Waseka Africa book, you're going to do some pages in here too. And you're going to be working on the FA people. And just go ahead and look in your Google Classroom for what pages to do today. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.